Don't break it. Between the ferry. Is that? Oh, it's underneath, isn't it? Hard.
Yeah. Well, I think we'll just step it like that. Just let me do it. It's easier. If you do that, you can take some pictures or something, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Because it might be, like you say, worth something. Did it go into the wall then, or just up?
No, the bit does go in the wall, but the bit in between's not there.
Oh, fair enough. One side like that.
I think.
Get the brush and pan. You think what?
No, I thought the chimney went over to one side, but it doesn't. I'll tell you why they have. That's where it goes into the wall upstairs.
Because what?
That's where it goes into the wall upstairs.
Does it go in the wall?
Yeah. And it's over to one side, that is.
So what? No, I'll drag it. Should go in.
Mark on the floor there. Just stand there.
I'll lift yours and I'll push this down. So we'll have to get the back feet first, won't we? Hey,
I've got a hernia, did you
so
think?
have I.
More serious than yours.
You don't need me playing about mine. That'll look nice in there, Greg.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it?
That goes with it.
With that,
Yeah.
well, let's just stick it on there then. So just get that. And then this one, you want it?
Yeah.
Sorted. Good. Something else cleared out. We can just move it over the counter. Tools and stuff. And what we're doing, can't we?
Yeah, hi everybody. So I'm going to do a quick walkthrough of the house. First through the hallway where the stairs are, into the main hallway that you saw making myself tidy up. I'll come back to that shortly. Turning left into what will one day hopefully be a nice French farmhouse kitchen. Since coming back home and speaking with Suze and showing her what we've done, we've decided to make a few changes around here. So yeah, what you see at the moment may not be what we decide to keep. I want to answer a few of the questions that came up as well on last week's vid about the kitchen. So I will come back to those in a moment. So looking at this photograph, somebody said last week, have you ever thought of making the window into a door? And the simple answer to that is yes. It's always been the plan from day one that that window will be taken out and made into a door. We need to get planning permission from the mayor. I did mention it to him some time ago when he first took office, and he came to say hello, and he didn't sort of say no, it would be impossible. You know, he sort of gave me the idea that yes, it would be possible to make that into a door. So it would be like the window is now, but all the way down to the floor, and it will open inwards. Probably start getting planning permission in for that early in the new year. Another question that came up was about the sink. The sink has to be on that wall. The reason for that is on the other side of the wall is all the water inlet pipes and the waste pipes out to the tank outside. To put it anywhere else, we would have to dig up and take up the floor, and I don't want to do that. The floor is in very, very good condition, and I don't want to start messing around with it. So the sink has to stay there. This is where some of the big changes have come in now. To the left of the sink, on the wall, the back wall, we're going to put a double oven. I think it's going to be a freestanding oven and not a double oven tower unit. So it will be a freestanding double oven. I like to cook, and I really fancy having a nice double oven there for when we have family and friends over. Above it, we'll probably have some cabinets. One of the biggest things that came up last week was people saying about the fridge being where it is. Let me clear this one up. The fridge is not staying. That was put there just to give us some idea of the size, because we will be having an under-the-counter fridge and freezer in a cabinet coming out from the fridge towards a table. So that fridge is going. There'll be a nice long work surface there for prepping food and what have you. So basically we will have everything in that corner that we need for cleaning, cooking, and fridge and freezer units. So yeah, don't worry, that fridge is not staying there. Okay, so looking around the room, just another quick look at this space we've got to play with. The table that you can just see the corner of there is going to go towards the fireplace. There's quite a bit of space there, and we're going to move it over there. This is where the cooker was going to go with a hob, but now, as I say, we've decided that we're going to put it on the other side. So that cable you see to the left, which was for the cooker, will be moved over and put down the far wall. The log burner will be installed sometime next year. The guy who was going to fit it for us can't now do it. He's gone back to England till probably February, March of next year. The one to the left, the old one, we will be taking down to the tip. It's completely had it, of no use to anybody. So when we do a next tip run, we will take that with us. The cabinet that you see in the far corner will, maybe moved over to this wall where the old log burner is. Table will be moved a little bit nearer to the fire. If we don't think that's right, we're going to put it over where the window is at the far wall and put it across that window. As you can see, we've put the cabling in for the downlight above the table. That will obviously have to be moved depending on where we finish putting the table, but it's no big deal, as will the cable for the oven, which is that one there. That will be moved over to the far wall. So yeah, better to find these things out now and change things if necessary than do it when all the floorboards are down upstairs, because that would make it very difficult. Again, this seating The seating is probably not going to stay. There will be a seating area more than likely in this corner, but it probably won't be this sofa. It's too big. We'd like two small sofas, probably facing each other, to go in this corner, with something like a coffee table and what have you. As a lot of people use the kitchen as the hub of the house, and that's what we intend to do with this. There won't be a TV in here, for example. If you want to watch the TV, you go in the lounge area. Something else that came up last week was someone asked, well, if you live in there, why don't you rent out the main house? You'll make more money out of that and live in the gîte. Well, first, as I've said before, people who've been watching and subscribed for quite a time, we don't intend to live here. This is really just a holiday home. And the main part of the house we want to have for ourselves, family, friends to come and stay. And the gîte, if you like, is where our income will come from. We never bought this house as a business. It was just as a holiday home. But we realised that we could make a gîte and rent that out. We've already got bookings for next year. So, yeah, that is the reason. We'd rather keep the main house once it's finished for ourselves and family and friends. What I'm pointing to there is the coving, which is quite old, but it's in absolutely perfect condition. So we intend to keep that, clean it up. There's no damage to it anywhere. Clean it and decorate it and what have you. The ceiling needs rubbing back. I did consider taking all the paint off, but I'm not going to do that. It's just going to take too long, and I could be getting on with the other things. So the ceiling will be rubbed back and then repainted. This wall and one or two others are going to have panelling on there. The panelling will come up to where my hand's going to go now, to that height, and above that will be plastered and painted and what have you. So yeah, we're going to do panelling round at least 2 or 3 of the walls, and then obviously paint that. I've got all the wood ready to go. It's just going to go over to France on the next trip, which is in just over a week's time. As you can see, the floor's in great condition, so why start taking it up and messing around with it? The walls that are on either side of the fireplace behind this cabinet and to the left where the old fire is, we're probably going to expose the stone on those 2 walls. So yeah, going into the hallway, which was a complete and utter mess, and thanks to Mick's help, we've managed to make it into a nice workshop area. This is in the centre of the house, so it's the best place for this to be. It will mean sometimes we have to take stuff up and downstairs, but so be it. If it was upstairs, we'd have to bring it downstairs. It's 6 to 1, half a dozen of the other. So yes, this will be our main workshop for the time being. Eventually this will be all restored and renovated and what have you. No big plans yet of what we're going to do, except we are going to keep those main doors down there and restore them. We did talk about having a stairway in that corner going upstairs, but we've looked at it and we'd rather keep the hallway the way it is. There was room for a curved stairway, the base being where that shelving unit is there with the tools on, going up to the just above where the door is there, where I'm pointing to. But I just think it would sort of ruin the hallway. I want to have a nice big hallway, so we're going to leave it there, and the stairs are going to be restored that are in the smaller hallway further on. This room here is a storeroom, and has been for the last nearly 3 years now, slowly emptying, getting tidied up. The wall to our right is going to be turned back to stone. It's not in very good condition, that plasterboard, so we will make it into a stone featured wall. But for now it's going to stay as a storeroom, and then eventually it will become the lounge where, as I say, we'll have the TV, sofas and what have you. But it's sort of the forgotten room. We never really do much in here except tidy up and move things around. So yeah, one day that will be hopefully a nice lounge area. So from here we'll go into the small hallway. This is where the electric junction box is and fuse box and what have you. This is the old stairs, and we have talked for a long time of getting rid of this. But on closer inspection, the stairs is not actually in too bad a condition. The fact that the risers, there's no rot in them, there's no woodworm in them, they're in great condition. They look a bit rough because at some point somebody put some carpet on there, and I think they glued the underlay down, and it's just been left, and it's a real mess. But the risers are all okay. The actual steps themselves, the treads, are in bad condition. They will all be taken off and replaced with new. And whether we keep the wood effect or we, paint them, I don't know yet. That's something down the line, but we intend to keep them. Up onto the landing, which eventually will become a landing and an office area. I've got 1 or 2 plans for this down the line. The stone walls that you can see will stay. We're going to point all those and make them a feature. I have an old school desk, oak school desk. It's about 150 years old, and I'm going to restore that, and you can have a laptop on there. And as I say, make it into a small office area. We've left the chop saw up here because that's where we'll be cutting all the floorboards, which we started just after we videoed all this. As you can see, the ceiling is not in the greatest of condition. It is watertight, so we don't want to mess with that. But we will put some form of false ceiling in there. We don't know whether to keep the beams, the good condition beams, on view. Again, we'll decide that further down the line. This wall here, when it's been restored, that is where we will have the hot water tank. We may build it into a cupboard, or we may just have it on a shelf to where my hand's going to show in a moment. And that will feed the kitchen downstairs and the 2 ensuite bathrooms upstairs in both of the bedrooms. So yeah, the shelf will go across there, and we probably will put it into a cupboard just to make it look better. But that seems to be the best place for it at the moment. The door you can see is the door into the Jeep bedroom. Above here, that's going to be plasterboarded, so you won't be able to see down there. The ceiling in the bedroom is in quite good condition, so we're going to keep that for the moment. I did have a plan of exposing all the beams, but it's too much work, and you don't know what things you're going to uncover, so we're going to leave that. So yeah, that area above that you can see will be blocked off, and we may well use that for storage up there as well. So yeah, let's go into the main bedroom that you've seen me working on with the insulation and what have you for the last couple of videos. So yeah, into the main bedroom. This is the one you've seen us putting the wires in and the insulation and whatever. This is 18 foot by 18 foot. So it's a really nice size. The plan here is, once we've changed all the wiring and to accommodate the kitchen downstairs, all the wiring is in here now for the bedroom and for the kitchen downstairs, so it's all ready to go with fuses, and plug sockets, light sockets and everything else. Is in this left hand corner there will be an ensuite bathroom, and that will have a bath, a shower, toilet and sink, and we'll probably go all the way up to the ceiling. We intend to plasterboard in between the beams once we've stained them, and obviously we'll put some insulation up there as well. So yeah, they will be plasterboarded out, and then this wall on the right will be panelled from the floor all the way up to the ceiling to make it a real feature wall. Yeah, looking forward to doing that. But first of all, we will have to put the floor down, of course. From the ceiling, we're going to have a nice chandelier hanging there, which we're sourcing at the moment. Just after filming this, we started to put the floorboards down. We only had enough to go halfway, and we didn't do the bathroom area. The reason for that is that we need to get some more pipes underneath, and it doesn't matter that there'll be a join around there, because a wall will go on the top of that join, so it won't be seen. The far wall to the left will also be exposed to the stone, and so will the bathroom wall as well. That concrete you see has just basically been thrown on there to cover it up when they put the new roof up there, which was the council, I believe, came and did it because the roof had collapsed. So yeah, that should come off, and there'll be the stonework underneath. If it won't come off, we'll have to think of a plan B. But yeah, we started the floorboards on there just after filming this. Into the second bedroom. The lighting's not very good in here, but this will be a bedroom, another double bedroom, Once it's cleared out, a lot of this stuff is going to the tip. All that wood is going to be used for kindling. That's the old floorboards and whatever, which you will see us stacking in a future video. I think it's next week. There's all the floorboards to go down in the bedroom we've just been in. All the electrical cables and everything else have been stored up here. This thing on the right is a mattress topper. That's going to the tip. New shutters and complete decoration in here. Again, this will be done later. This is not a main job at the moment. That is the bed that will go into the other bedroom. Where it's standing at the moment, that is going to be the ensuite area. Again, we will have a bath in there, a shower in the bath, a toilet and a sink. So there won't be any separate bathroom in the house. Both bedrooms will have ensuite facilities, as does the gîte. So if we were using the whole of the house, then we could, we've all got our own bathrooms and what have you. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This is all work in progress. No idea how long it's going to take, as I've always said, it'll just get done as it gets done. But yeah, before we go back to England, which is in about 3-4 days time, we'd like to get that room in there floorboarded out as much as possible. So yeah, stick with us. I hope you're enjoying the vids. I'll talk with you later. Cheers everybody, bye.